Good morning, family. Happy Friday. Today's scriptures come from Proverbs 19, verse 20 and 21, which read, "Listen to counsel and receive instruction, that you may be wise in your latter days. There are many plans in man's heart. Nevertheless, the Lord's counsel, that will stand." Now, I have to admit, this morning, it was, it took a lot. I got a lot out of this message because I'm a planner. I like to know that things are going to work before I do it. I test the water before I get in. I want to see how things are going to work out. I want to know how they're going to work. In my work life, it's good because I'm a problem solver at work. So if somebody comes to me with something, I can go to them and say, okay, here's our plan to get this to work out. So that works for me at work. Not a problem. But in my personal life, I have made many plans, and this morning I was brought to tears thinking about the plans. And I've often said that if we could write our own story, we would be living a different life, and I would be living a different life. But these scriptures kind of hit me this morning. Listen to counsel and receive instruction. There's another translation, that says listen to counsel and receive discipline. And a lot of times I'm like, if you don't do anything wrong, then you don't necessarily need discipline for it. But we do stuff wrong. But anyway, there's another verse of the day image on the Bible app that says, a verse 21, it says, we may have a lot of plans, but the Lord will do what he decided. Now, at first, that translation had me feeling kind of down because I was like, well, why even make plans? If God is going to do what he decide, no matter what we plan or what we think or what our outcome is going to be, then why even make a decision? Why even make a plan? And so I started to get deeper into that. I looked up the Hebrew word for counsel. I looked up the Hebrew word for decide and the Hebrew word for instruction. And I started paying close attention to the symbols. Our Bible was translated from Hebrew and I believe Aramaic or Arabic. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But when it was translated into the New King James Version, I look at the way they look at the words and the symbols. Hebrew looks like symbols. I know to somebody who's Hebrew it's letters, but the symbols for counsel and the symbols for instruction are similar. And so I was like, I don't know if I want to exchange the word counsel for decided, because I believe that we have a spirit that's connected to God. That comes with having that intimacy with God. And so as our spirit receives God's counsel, receives good instruction, and we make a plan and we make a decision, then we can pray about it to God. Now, what God hit me in the face with was, Felicia, where is your faith if everything works out exactly the way you planned? Where's your faith in that? And so that led me to James chapter 2. And my Bible readers, y'all know, verses 14 through 26, James is really giving it to them and telling them, faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. And he goes on to give examples about how people had faith in God, but they also moved into action in what it is that they were supposed to be doing. And so that told me that when we receive this counsel, we can make a plan. We can ask God, what it is that we want. We can ask God for counsel and instruction on what we need to do to how to get to where we want to be, to what our plan is. So I thought about, one memory that came to me was when I was pregnant 19 years ago. I started planning for a baby. At 6 weeks, I was talking to my belly, y'all. Had plans on being a mom. But God's decision was for me not to have a baby. I lost a baby at 7 weeks. So I devised another plan. When I got married, I dedicated the first 6 years of my marriage to getting pregnant and having a baby. And when God's answer and God's counsel on that was, no, you're not. You're not going to have a baby. You're not going to be able to birth a child. That was hard for me. That was tough. I had to accept that his answer was no. So with that, I was like, okay, why even make a plan? Just, God gonna do what he see is gonna happen. But then when I read James chapter 2, I said, no, we are connected to God. We can make a plan. We can have something in our heart. Oh, sorry. But we can ask God for something, and then we have to have faith that he is going to work it out. And we have to move on those instructions. So sorry for making this so long, but it was just a lot that was in my spirit when I read those two scriptures this morning. So I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful day.